Sorry. Now I'm audible, right? Yeah. So here it is failed because of the response is not XML. Simply it will check what is the response. Response, it is simple text format and it is not XML. XML response will be different format. It will check the format. So I'm putting the sample XML response here. So here it's if it read these things like these things, if it is not in as part of XML, then it will fail. Now we can put the condition based on the requirement. So if a client says that when you run this action or when you click the button, the response from the server should be in XML format, right? But even though if you are getting 200 okay, but I want the response should be in XML. So XML assertion says that matching the end tag. Okay, so maybe we did not put the end tag properly. Okay, I'll take the simple XML. This looks. Let's start with basic XML. Let me take this one. This is a XML format, right? Let's just put this. Now let us run this. It is working. Earlier course, I think we did not close the XML the response. So it should have this. This is what XML all about. When you start the tag, it should end the tag. I think we can get it from here also, XML data. The response also. Yeah, this is like XML, right? XML looks like this only. Select name, select. Yeah. But H2 should also be ended, right? Let me put this. Okay, H2 ended here. Select started, selected ended here. Let us see. If it is not XML format, then it will give the reason why it is failing. Markup document should be there. XML markup. Root element must be well formatted. See, even though format is not properly done, it will fail. So that's why it should be actually the XML content, then only it will pass. So here, okay, this is the root element. Now it is working. Let us go to the some other example. This is an error. Okay, this one. Yeah, this one we'll see. Yeah. So you see, this is well formatted, right? Now this should, if the client says that the response should be this format in XML. So even though sometimes you may get the wrong response, even though it says here it says 200 okay, but if you're not getting the XML, instead of that you'll get a HTML response. So that is also we can put as a checkpoint because we are getting this as a XML. Even if I miss something, it will throw an error, you see. You just miss something, it will throw an error. Format is missed, it will throw error. So this is kind of validating the developers code. Like if the developers when they write the code, if they don't put proper response for any API or any request, then we can validate using this XML assertions. Okay. So we can tell them that your format is not proper, and you can fix that. So that is the useful for testing the format is properly for formatted in actual required format or not. That we can test. So here, say when I just removed something here. Now let me run this. I just removed one tag. So it is saying I put this for something else. Duration. See, duration. It has taken 4 seconds. That's why it is failed. Okay? 4 seconds. That's fine. Now this is saying that XML breakfast menu, the element type breakfast menu must be terminated by the matching. So if they make any mistake in the XML response while generating the response, the developers, you can easily validate and we can tell them this is what you did. We can simply show them this is not, you have not properly formatted, and you can cross check breakfast menu. I think we did not end it properly. Yeah. Here I think I have removed some food or something. Let me take it back. Now if I run, now it will work. So now it is working because this format is proper. So actually, this is not performance testing. This kind of a functional testing only, like checking the unit testing. You can say checking the whether the format of the code is properly done or not. Okay. Once again. Yeah. So this is called XML assertion. Like that, you can put XML assertion, HTML assertion. HTML we have seen, right? And size assertion. And another type of assertion is JSON. This is for advanced level. Like, if the response is in JSON format, then you can use this uh, JSON assertion. Okay. You need to mention the JSON path. Like I will explain what is JSON path and everything. First, let me show you what is the response. I mean, what is JSON response? Your JSON response will look like this. There is, okay, here we'll put sample JSON version. Yeah, like this or simple one. Yeah, your JSON will look like this. Or JSON syntax. Let me take some JSON. Okay. Otherwise, we can take it from any website. So normally any API will have a JSON response. I'm taking this. Your response code. This is XML, right? So XML will fail. Anyway. So JSON should have this kind of response. Or else, let me take any JSON one. Let me take any data. So you see, this is in real time. This is what your JSON response. Anyway, we'll work on this application as well. Don't let me, sorry. This is the like response looks like that. JSON response looks like this. Let me copy and put it here. Oh, simple one. I'll put an actual JSON response. XML is with tags. JSON is with flower brackets and square brackets. Now, your script, if I want to validate in that response, so still it is why it is failing, because here I want to validate. Your client says that when you have this response, okay, in that you should have some product ID. Okay, then how do you validate this at the time of script? When you replay the script, I want to validate this is actually response. In that, sometimes you may have ID, sometimes you may not have ID. I want to make sure that you should have ID. Otherwise, your script should fail. If ID exists, then only your script should pass. This kind of requirement is there. It works only for JSON. Okay, the response should be in JSON. Then I want to put a condition here saying that here I'll mention the JSON path. So what is JSON path? Anyway, I'll explain when we start the correlation concept. So normally if I want to capture anything, say for example, there is something called JSON path tester. Anyway, we are going to work on this. If you don't understand, don't worry. There is a JSON response, right? In that, I want to capture the ID, means dollar dot items dot ID. So I'm able to capture the ID. So if I use this, if there is some IDs present, then it will pass. Come back. So anyway, I'm going to explain in detail about, sorry, how to capture this JSON path. There is something called JSON path tester. Here, if I want to capture this ID, right? I'll put dollar dot items of 0 dot ID. So if I put this query, I'm able to capture the ID. So that I want to put as a validation. Anyway, if you don't understand, forget it. Anyway, we are going to start from at the time of correlation. I'm going to explain in details about this JSON correlation. But for now, we need to mention that JSON path. If that path exists, that means if the ID is there, then only my script should pass. In the response, I should have this ID. If the ID is there, first ID, then only it should pass. Now, let me run this. Now it is working, you see. The same, there is no change in your response, right? JSON assertion will check if I want to validate, like in the response, that particular ID is there or not. If the IDs exist, then only it should pass. If the ID is not there, then your script should fail. Say, for example, here, you are getting the response, this advanced level validation. Like, you may get 200 for each and everything. So you may get 200. Okay. But still in the response, I should get that ID. If your client says, it is an interview question, boss. Okay. They'll say that you're getting everything okay. You're getting 200 okay and everything. But say, I will remove that ID. Now we'll see this ID, right? Just this thing is, I have just removed it. It is failed. But the response 200, you will get everything is fine. But in the response, if that ID is missing, how do you identify? So this is one of the interview question. So if it is a JSON response, always use, if the response body is in, we'll ask like, what is the response body? Response body is in JSON format. Okay, then simply put JSON assertion. In JSON assertion, which ID you want to validate? that ID code you will put it here. The first time 0 means first one. First ID does not exist, it is failing. But second ID, if there is here order starts with 0. So put 1. Now it will pass, you see. Now it is working. See why it is passed? Because in the response, this is the first one. There is no ID here. But in the second, you have an ID. You have an ID, right? That's why it is passed. So this kind of advanced level also you can do the validation with the help of this JSON assertion. But this will work only if your response in JSON format. Okay, if it is in some other format, this will not work. Okay, so this is about JSON assertion. And other types of assertions are there, like XPath. XPath is like same. You need to put a XPath condition here. So what is XPath and all those things? I will explain when we do the correlation concept. Okay. And I think we covered almost. And other type of assertion where I want to write some advanced level code, then you'll use this bean shell assertion. I will cover this when we do this advanced level where you want to implement some logic. So you need to write some code. That code I want to validate. Then we will use this bean shell assertion. I will anyway, I'm going to cover this. Okay. So I think we have real time. What is the assertions you'll use? Maximum you'll use response assertion, within response code level, or duration probably. But JSON, if you have any requirement like you want to validate, then you can use this. JSON is very useful. So because sometimes you will get everything correct, but in that response, one particular ID is missing. So in that case, JSON assertion is very useful. Okay. So this is about different types of checkpoint. Say, when you say that my script is completed. So when we record the script, once you create the script, what all the steps you need to follow is, first one is validate your script. Validation is inserting the checkpoints that we have completed. Validate script using checkpoints. Second one is parameterization. After that, correlation. So what is correlation? I'll explain. Then error handling. So most of the error handling we have done using checkpoints, but still advanced level error handling, how do you do? Then logic implementation. If you perform all these 5 steps, then only you can say that. So here parameterization is what? Parameterization is nothing but passing the test data. Test data. How do you want to pass your test data? You pass your test data through your script and check how the script is working. So once you complete all these steps, right, then I can say that my script is finalized. Then you can go for, then we can go for the executions. So we have just completed the first step, that is validating the script with the checkpoints. So in the next class, we'll see how to pass the test data and how many types we can pass the test data through our script. That we'll see in the next class. Okay, please practice these types of assertions, and mostly assertions is only for interview point of view. So they will not use, but in the interview definitely they'll ask different types of assertions. So better you practice them. Okay, when you explain with an example like JSON, all those things. Okay, see you in the next class.